Hello, here I am again with another funny hat. Believe it or not, this is a Stetson. It's just seen quite a few years of outdoors. Alright, that's not what this is about. This story is about God and an army truck. And hopefully the bugs and my dog won't interrupt me this time. I just made this video and I thought it turned out alright. I'm not really natural at this. A little awkward. And I'm watching it. My dog is in the back behind me doing his thing in the lawn, so I wasn't going to post that one. I think God has a sense of humor, but there's a time and place for everything, and that wasn't either the time or place for that. When I'm going to tell to you a true story of when I was in the Army a long time ago, and I had an encounter with God in an Army truck. This is not a combat story, so you know that up front. So, at any rate, yeah, my Army experience, I was regular Army, I was paratrooper in regular Army, and infantry squad leader. I got out of that, and I wound up with an unusual job as a active duty training sergeant for the New York Army National Guard in a small town in the Adirondack Mountains. Very picturesque town, and yeah, it's a good job anyway. So at any rate, one day I'm in my office and I look out the window. It's a summer day, kind of like this, early summer. I was about 29 then. And I see a dilapidated old car pull up and park in front of the armory. And I recognize it to be a young man's car that I knew from church, and he was a private in my unit that I was training in charge of. So, he'd just gotten married, I knew that, and he and his wife were both about as poor as they get, which for that region in New York is not uncommon. Not a lot of work up north, and there still isn't, I don't believe. But they're honest people. And I see them walk out, and I see him stop and talk to her. I'm watching from my window inside, and he's telling her something. Basically, wait here, you could see by the gestures. And she went back to the car, and he proceeded on to, I knew he was coming to see me, most likely, and he was. And I also put it together that he was probably coming to bum some money, because, I seen him tell his wife to go back to the car. He looked like he's being very polite, and he just didn't want to be embarrassed to have his new wife see him grovel for money. And he came into the office, and after some formalities, sure enough, he needed some money. And he explained to me that he and his wife were living with her parents in a small trailer, and they had other children living there, and they were arguing. It was stressed out, and he thought his marriage was in danger already from the arguing, and he needed to get a place, and therefore he needed some money. And at that time I remembered a Bible verse when I'm hearing him talk about this. And I gotta wear these now. This is a little print though, in all fairness. This is Luke 6:30. Luke 6:30. Give to everyone who asks you, and if anyone takes what belongs to you, do not demand it back. Do to others as you would have them do to you. And we're supposed to give. We're supposed to be generous and genuinely generous, and not to lend and expect it back, and like a taskmaster. All right, how much do you need? I ask him. He tells me what he needs, and it was $50 short of what I got paid for my 2-week paycheck at that time, and I had just gotten paid recently, and it's about all I had in the bank. And no problem. I never let on that I'm thinking, it's all I got. I didn't show that. Hey, no problem. Oh, great, thank you. He says, we'll get you paid back Saturday, which was a few days out. And no problem. And I said, you know what? There's here, take $50 more. It's a wedding gift from me. Take your wife out, get her something, do something fun with her, whatever. This is on me, the $50, and I'm not worried about it. Get it back to me when you can. I gave him my bank card. I wrote the pen down, told him to have a nice day, and watched him walk back out to the car, and he had a little bounce to his step now, and drove off with his happy-looking wife. Hey, there's a reason I was wearing this. These bugs are tearing me up. Sorry. Hope it helps. Any rate, the weekend comes. I don't hear from the man. You know, all right, he said he'd pay me back on Saturday. I didn't hear a word from him. Didn't see him. Didn't know where he went. Nothing. Sunday comes, no word from him. Nothing. I went to church, and I knew him in church where we went. He wasn't there. Neither was his wife. I asked, hey, where's he at? And his family was there, some of them, and they said nobody knew where he was at. This doesn't bode well. All right, so Monday comes, I'm back to work. I'm broke. I'm flat broke. You know, he's not there. He'd no call, nothing. Now I'm getting a little concerned. All the good feelings that I had when I loaned him that money are starting to evaporate. There's a little volcano in me starting to get ready to go. I'm getting kind of mad. I'm starting to think he might have ripped me off. I call some other people that knew him. They said nobody knew where he went. He and his wife just seemed to, they skipped town. And he didn't tell anybody where he was going. This is not good. Tuesday comes, no word. Wednesday comes, no word. Now tell you the truth, I'm mad. Any of that goodness that I was feeling when I read this, when I loaned him the money, I have to confess, it was pretty much all gone. And Thursday came, and I had to take an army truck to Albany, south to Albany, to pick up some training supplies for some training we were doing coming up. It was a routine trip, and I was going alone. And there's two ways to get down there from where I was at. I could take the 4-lane expressway, Route 87, south, and it was very boring, you know, the expressway. Or I could go the long way, winding through the mountains, by the streams, by the lakes. Took me a little longer, but there was also some restaurants I like to stop at and eat at, coming there and back. Pleasureful trip. This time, though, I didn't have any money. I'm pretty bad, honestly. I remember my feelings being, I still remember saying, I see that guy, I'm going to punch first, and then I'm going to ask questions after that. I was that mad, and I'm being honest with you about it. And I got in the truck, didn't have 2 nickels to rub together in my pocket. Really, you know, put it in gear, I'm back up, and I'm going to go down the north way, even though it's boring, but I was broke. Voice says to me, like the message in the dirt, calm voice says, open the glove box, take out your Bible, and read it. And I'm like, I argued with it. That's when you know maybe it's somebody, God, talking to you. I'm like, no, I don't want to do that. Let's get going. Let's get on the road, I'm telling myself. Again, second time, open the glove box, take out your Bible, and read. No, I'm not going to. Third time, open the glove box, take out your Bible, and read. Now I knew that this was probably from God. And at that moment, an energy came into the army truck, the cabin that I was in alone. And it was like a static energy. And it just, goodness, you could just feel the goodness. And all the anger I had just evaporated instantly. And it's an overwhelming good feeling. And I always kept the Bible. And this actually is what the Army, the U.S. Army, used to issue these Bibles to us in boot camp. They didn't make you take them, but they had them there. They offered them if you wanted them. They were there. And of course, I took more than one, so I still have this antique Army issue Bible. I rather doubt they do that anymore. Yeah, I kept a Bible in there. And so the presence is still with me. And I opened it up, closed my eyes, and I opened it up and I put my finger down, expecting a message from God, whatever he had to tell me. And I opened up to Ephesians, just did this, and this is what I came to. Ephesians 4, verse 22. I believe, I need my glasses, sorry. The ears are on me. This is also pretty fine print. Ephesians 4, verse 31. 4:31. Get rid of all bitterness, rage, and anger, brawling and slander. Remember what I was thinking just minutes before. Along with every form of malice, be kind and compassionate to one another, forgiving each other, just as Christ God forgave you. Recall what I was feeling 5 minutes before. Punch first, ask questions later with this man that I felt certain had ripped me off flatly, taking advantage of my goodwill. I'm not perfect, Christian. Oh my God, you better believe I was leveled and praising God and thanking him. God. And so I opened again, and the presence is still with me in the truck, and my finger went down blindly, and it came upon this. Matthew 5:24. Therefore, or actually 5:23. Therefore, if you are offering a gift at the altar, and there remember that your brother has something against you, leave your gift there in front of the altar. First go and be reconciled to your brother. Then come and offer your gift. Another message of forgiveness to our brother. And yeah, I was pretty, thanking God, and my day is going good now. I'm feeling nothing but good. I mean, I can't really describe it, honestly. I hate to say it, I haven't felt that way in a while. I'm going through a rough patch, part of it my own doing, and whatever, who knows. It's rough. But I was pretty illuminated. And God's presence, there's only been a few times that I directly felt his presence with me. And that was one of them. And another one I'm going to relay next. So anyway, I'm in the truck. I put the Bible back in the glove box and decide that even though I'm broke, I'm going to take the long scenic route back and just kind of enjoy the day, fellowship with God in that army truck. I get going down the back roads, taking the long way down to Albany, through the mountains and past the lakes and streams. It's very pretty, very beautiful area. Who do you think I ran into 5 minutes down the road on one of those back roads? My friend and his wife in their dilapidated, hilariously dilapidated old car. And he saw me in the army truck, and he knew who it was. They're waving, flagging me down because there's just so many army trucks in that little area. It's a pretty small unit. They knew it was me. So I pull over, they pull over. Beautiful day like this, get out. I think they were pretty much prepared for the punch first, ask questions later, Sergeant Schenk, which, honestly, I'm not a violent person. I'm just saying I was pretty upset with him. I don't think I would have done that, but I felt like it. He didn't meet that. He met me instead saying, "Hey, how are you? So good to see you. And you too," to his wife. And he says, "Oh, thank God, we found you. He had my money. He gave me my money." So looks like I was going to eat after all that day. I remember the look on his wife's. They just blew them away that, they'd gone quite a while without paying me or calling me. I ain't worried about it. It's just good to see you two, all good feelings. I don't remember the dialogue, but just good feelings. And they gave me the money, and I didn't make a big deal out of it. Stuffed it in my pocket and wished them all a good day. And he told me that what had happened was they got a place in a nearby town, small apartment using that money. And they didn't tell anybody where they went because they wanted to be left alone for a little while. And also he was having a hard time putting the money together, but he did. So he apologized, and that was his reason. I told him it wasn't a big deal, really. So they went on their way, and he also told me later, honestly, this is kind of after the story, probably a year later, he confided with me and said his faith was going through a really hard time at that point in his life. And me doing that, by me, the way I acted, restored his faith. It helped him through a hard time when he was questioning God and the Bible and everything. And my behavior, he said, that day helped him through that time. Like I said in my other stories, when God does something, he goes beyond what we see. Beyond. And no, those are crows that I feed. So I just guess I want to say that, this, to us, those of us, we're in the family of God. This is not just a book with words in it. It's not just an antiquated book written by a bunch of old stodgy men. This is a living word. And I know I used it kind of like a magic 8-ball, close my eyes, put my finger down. That works for me. God has talked to me that way quite a few times. Seriously. And I also advocate studying it. Whatever you want to do with it, pick it up and read it. Keep one with you. I kept one in the glove box of that truck, and I forgot it was even there pretty much. Look what happened. It was good I put it there. This is a living word. It's a tool. It's a weapon. It's a bandage. It's more than just a book, and I don't read it as much as I should, honestly. I don't anymore. Hey, that's it. Got an army truck. My next story, I've got a few more. I've been putting these off because it never seems like the right time. I want to lose weight. I'm not comfortable in front of this camera. Or the weather's not nice, or I'm just not really feeling it, or something. But I heard a message not long ago, and from Mother Angelica, one of her old things, and she's long gone now, not too long gone, but she was saying that you've got to work every season for the Lord, even when you don't feel like it, because we don't know how long we've really got here to do His work. I'm not a Bible thumper or anything, but yeah, I've got these. I share these on YouTube, and a lot of people are doing that. And I think it's great, honest. You should put your own stories out there, people. Good day.